Alright, so we are headed to WTF Motorsports. I have my camera gear, so you already know what that means. More mods. We're showing you what you're here for. What we're here for, dear Lord. Something pertaining to this. Alright, so we got CJ looking over the instructions, and this is the new active signature exhaust that matches up with the equal length mid pipe. So I have the Gen 2 equal length, you all know that. It has the extra resonators here, but I opted for the original one with the additional resonators in the back. With the new setup, those resonators go away, so it should be a little bit louder, but the front half stays the same, and then we're removing the back half. So they're saying that this should get a lot of the rasp out. We're gonna see, we're gonna give you the review, but I've seen videos of it. It does sound very good, so I'm really excited to see how well this turns out. Now, the first thing CJ is gonna do is he's gonna start taking apart my old exhaust, and this is gonna drop down. We're gonna get rid of all this, and then we're gonna start putting this new stuff on there. So while he's doing that, I'm gonna post some B-roll of the product itself, and then we will get everything back on. Now, some of the things that come with the exhaust. We're gonna have 2 hangers for the muffler itself. We have a new hanger for the sort of rear midsection for that right there. Then you have this piece to hold the exhaust valve on, along with the hanger clip or whatever you call this thing. And then any sort of bolts to hold this together, it's gonna come with. Now those little clips right there, they gave us new ones of those, so we don't have to reuse them, but I can't remember which ones I liked more, so we may reuse those. And of course, we have tips that we put, or that we have here. I opted for the matte black, just because there's nothing really silver on the car, and he didn't have gloss black like my original tips. So as we get this out for you to see, just so you know what I opted for. Boom, nice black active tips. Slowly but surely. So this is just sort of here for mock-up purposes. With the way my bracket came, I think it was flipped the other way. I'm not 100% sure if it was just packaged that way or not. But this way, where it's like a big L, seems like the best way it's gonna fit without it hitting once we hit bumps. So if you see here, these nubs are both facing out. You have the nut on the inside so you can get to it. When we tried to flip it on this side, this was blocking it. And then this L right here makes it so we can adjust this pipe if we need to. So we're gonna keep it loose, mock this part up, get this bolted together, then we can tighten this side. So the long bracket here is gonna be on the right side of the car. And you'll see that's where the mid pipe connects to. And then the small bracket, which he has in his hand right now, we'll put in there. We'll attach here. We'll get better pictures of what it'll look like, or video of what it'll look like once it's mocked up. But for now, this is how it will be as you put it in, and then we'll attach it here. All right, so got the actuator in, as you see, with the valves closed. That's how these are when they're off, so you'll want the pin sort of facing upwards like that, and then you'll slide it in. This is under tension right now, it's not gonna come out, and this is all bolted in. Jimmy has showed up. Jimmy is in everybody's vlogs now.
Right?
But we're about to put all this together. We got the brackets on, so like I said, I'd show you how they look. So, like so. So we're gonna put this on and mock everything up.
How come you're not using your camera?
Dude, it's
Smaller is better.
okay. So, ran into some fitment issues, but we fixed it. Due to some clamp issues, I don't know what's up with these clamps. They sort of they just started to break as we started to tighten them. They didn't really tighten, but we used my old ones. We have to adjust it. I'm sorry. Yeah, so we have to use the old clamps, which work way better. Had to move a lot of stuff over here to get it to fit properly. So you will play with it a lot to get it to fit. Just FYI. This is not something that's gonna go on with no adjustments whatsoever. All right, so we got all this on. That might need some adjusting later down the road. It's probably gonna touch, but everything else is attached. These are all tight. We figured out what that bracket was. The bracket's to hold the secondary valve, which you put up there so there's no codes or whatever. So that stays there. And then the main valve is on this side. Then you have the active logo, of course. But this is substantially smaller than my other muffler. Okay, so we got the exhaust on. Tips are sort of where I want them, but we'll get it started here and see how the exhaust sounds. Let's see if I can set my phone up too. The initial startup, it's definitely a little deeper. One more. We're good. Sounds pretty good. We're gonna go for a drive. I'm gonna do a couple pulls in, I guess what we would consider efficient, which is valves closed, and then we'll go sport, which is valves open. A couple pulls and show you guys what it sounds like. Hopefully it picks up good on the mic. In person it sounds really good, but as far as what you guys hear in the video, I don't know if it's going to translate that well, so we'll see. so we'll do a second gear pull. Not bad. Then we will get off here and do valves open.
That was valves closed?
That was valves closed.
Not pretty good.
Yeah, valves closed. So now we'll do valves open. Yeah, it's so weird. When I do pulls, you would think that's when it would rattle, and instead it doesn't.
Yep, it's when it's like at a standstill.
Yeah, super annoying. What?
I'm getting a shot of your bare ass feet.
Yes, yes.
It's dark down there, you can't see it.
Yes. You don't drive barefoot, bro?
No.
Yeah, dude. Making cops hate me more than they do already. Yeah, that's gonna be the new. Do you know the new law, right? About the exhaust. The new law that's going into effect in July is they can pull you over for just having a loud exhaust. Doesn't matter the decibel reading. If they can hear it from 100 feet away, they can pull you over.
It passed?
I think so. I think DeSantis just needs to sign it. Yay, Florida's turning into California. Yep. It's awesome. Love it. Oh, that's so annoying.
I guess it's up to the cops'
discretion, yeah. Get a pull in. Oh, there's people on the damn. We had to slow down. Didn't get as long as a rev. I'll go a little further down. Can you let me in? How's it sound?
Hmm?
Sounds good?
Sounds really good.
Sounds good, I think. Jimmy has some input.
Sounds really good.
Oh, man. That's hilarious. Well, if I cut the video here, I would like to thank Active for sending me the exhaust and trying it out for them. Hopefully everyone likes the video of the audio of the exhaust. That was a lot of those, but we will bro, what in the world? We will try to add as much B-roll as we can. Hopefully this is not too loud right now as I'm driving, and enjoy the video. Alright, so I want to give a full thought on the exhaust as I'm driving around, minus any sort of rattles that I haven't taken care of, which I'm doing tomorrow, which is, you know, not really a fault of Active. I think it's a fault of us trying to film and install at the same time. Obviously that just, you know, that doesn't fit well usually. So not a fault of just direct install either. I think that the exhaust sounds great. There is some drone to it that I'm not used to, and because I'm so used to like a stockish audio or stockish volume, which you might be able to hear right now. I'm gonna try to take some of that out in the edit, but we'll see if that translates very well. And right now I'm just using the camera's mic, so hopefully it sounds okay. But this is valves open. I'm just cruising at 3,000 RPM for gear. If I go to 5th, that's 2,500, and then 6th, this is around 2,100 or 2,000 to 2,100. So at 2,100, 62 miles an hour, there's not that much of a drone, but once you get towards like the 3,000 RPM range, it's a little droney. But again, I think that's just a accumulation of me not being used to loud exhaust, because I had 4 resonators on my original setup, which was the EqualLink Gen 2, and then the resonators in the back that connected before the stock or the MPE exhaust. So that's probably why I think the exhaust is very loud. I do love how it sounds. The 2K RPM rasp is essentially gone, especially if you're cruising. And I know for DCT guys, that's like the biggest complaint, right? Where the RPM range sits around 2 to 2,500 RPM, and that's where that rattling comes from in the DCT cars. So in 6th gear, I'm sitting in 2,000 RPM, and I don't have that raspy noise anymore. It's very low bass, I would say. Obviously, I won't be able to rev the car at Invasion, but after the show or before the show, I'll try to give a few revs to people that are there setting up if they want to come hear it, and hopefully this video drops before then. Now let's see, am I going to be able to, do I want to get on the highway? I have to make a few cuts if I do. Nah, I'll go straight. See if I can do a few pulls without getting pulled over in Mexico. Now, one other thing that I notice is when valves are closed, you get a tiny amount of, I wouldn't say rasp, but I would say like air that goes past the valve itself. So like a little whooshing noise, which is pretty normal. I feel like that's standard for most exhausts. So if you hear that in the video, that's what it is, the whooshing noise. Downshifting sounds fantastic. It's a lot louder, but I'll try to roll the windows down and let you guys hear some of it while I'm driving. The YouTuber impression of how exhaust sounds, right? We already said we're gonna start doing that in videos. Woo! Sounds amazing, must buy, go get it now. Sick, fire, amazing. 10 out of 10, 12 out of 10, must buy. No, but seriously, I think Active really did something different with their setup. They had the original design with the single from the front to the back, and then they decided, hey, well, why don't we link up our equal length with that muffler that we had, the signature exhaust, and let's find a way to merge it. And that's what they did. I think it sounds fantastic. A lot of people agree. It just changes how this car really sounds. It doesn't sound like an S55 really. I don't know how to explain it. I don't know what it would really be if we were to say like what car it actually sounds like. So
I do catch myself. So with the MPE exhaust, something that I noticed is because it was so quiet and I wanted to hear it, I would cruise at lower gears so I could make the motor or the exhaust scream. And I was more at like 3,000 RPM whenever I cruised around, just so I could hear the exhaust. Now, with this exhaust being louder, I'm in, you know, what gears you're probably supposed to be to get more fuel efficiency. And it's just as loud as it was before. I want to say that valves closed is just as loud as my MPE setup open. It's really hard to gauge without a decibel meter, but just based off what I hear, I think that's accurate. And then with the valves open, it just screams. So I would like to thank Active Autowerke for sending me this exhaust. The guys over there are great. Rob is fantastic over there. And then I believe their salesperson, or I don't know what exactly he does, but Alan's still there. So you can always reach out to Alan or Rob to get your exhaust set up. I don't know if they've released the price on this as of yet, but if so, I will link it down below for everybody for you to purchase.